Hello everyone. Do you want to see all the contacts connecting to an account in Salesforce? Maybe you want to see who works at a company right inside the account page. So this video is for you. I will use the Avonni Avatar Group and ScreenFlows to display a list of contacts, and it's very easy. Let's dive in. Look at this account page we have here, and I build a screen flow right there, displaying a list of contacts, and for this I'm only using the Avonni Avatar Group, and that's what I'm going to build from scratch with you to show you how to use the Avonni Avatar Group as a screen flow and display the screen flow into a record page. So let's dive into Flow Builder to build that from scratch. In Flow Builder, let's create a screen flow. From there, let's create a new flow, select screen flow. First things first, we need to create a special container called variable. We need to create a variable. So you can think about the variable like a box where you can store information. And this variable will hold the ID of the record, of the account we are looking at. So here, let's create the variable new resource, variable, let's enter a name, input, data type, it's text, and really make sure it's important to check available for input. Why? Because this allows the flow to automatically grab the account ID or the record ID and use it into our screen flow. So let's create done. Next step, let's add a screen flow element. Let's enter a label, remove header, remove footer. So we want to make it very clean. The first component I'm looking to drag, it's not the avatar group yet. Why? Because I want to have a header. So I will use the Avonni Header at the top to really present, to really display what this component is about. Avonni Header right there. Let's enter API name. Open the component builder. Let's say contact list. For the title, is join, pull to boundary. And here you can also add an avatar, like an icon, contact. Perfect. Finally, last step on the styling, style tab, margin, add a bottom margin. Okay, that's it. Now, next, the Avonni Avatar Group component to display a list of contacts using avatars. Avatar Group. Open the component builder. We need first to configure the data source, where our data is coming from our Salesforce. Here, data source section, I will create a query. What I like to query is the contact object because I want to display contacts. But I don't want to display all the contacts from my Salesforce. I need to filter the information. So I will add a condition. And the condition will be filtered by the account ID, where account ID is equal to the current record ID. And that's where the variable comes into play. So here you select mapped, and you will grab the text variable we created first. Save. Perfect. That's it for the data configuration. Now I'm able to grab the contact information. Now let's configure the avatar group component. We're scrolling up. We can play with the variant if we want to use circle or square. I will use circles. Then you have the size, so you can play with the size of the avatar, let's say large. Here you have layout, so you have stacked, which is like this, grid, which is like this, and here you have all the other contacts. And finally you have a list. I will use the list one. Okay, now here I will toggle initials auto formatted. So now it's more clear, more easy to understand. You have the first initial setup. Then let's do the mapping. We need to map the information coming from the fields of the object to the corresponding attribute on the avatar. For example, initial, it's coming from the full name field. Image source. If you'd like to display the avatar as an image, you can select a field. And on my Salesforce, what I did, I created a field which is a URL field to store the URL of the picture. So picture URL, and you can see the picture on some contact directly right there on the avatar group. And then you can continue, do the mapping for other attributes, like the primary text. You can use full name, it's already there. That's what you can see right there. Secondary text, it's email, but if you want, you can choose another field. So let's say I like to display the title. So because I have a title field on my object, let's use the title. And then you have various other attributes like status type, position, tooltip, tertiary text. There is a lot of stuff you can do. Next, I like to make the avatar clickable. And for that, at the top, I have the item clickable toggle. So when I check this, the items will be clickable. You can see the mouse. Now I see the mouse over. Perfect. But it's not functional yet. If you'd like to make it functional and automatically create the redirection to the corresponding record page, you need to go on interaction, and you need to create an interaction on avatar click right there. So on avatar click, select the type, what you'd like to do when you're clicking on the avatar. You like to navigate to a page, navigate to a record page because you like to navigate to the corresponding contact page. API name, object API name, you're selecting contact. Record ID, it's item name. Action name, view. You like to view the page. That's it. So now the avatars are fully functional, they are clickable, and we created the interaction to make sure we are redirecting the users to the corresponding record page. Let's get back to properties, and then you can fine-tune the properties on the avatar group if you like to use maybe instead the stack version, always clickable, or the list one. You can really fine-tune the look and feel of the avatar group. There's a lot of other settings if you'd like to add filters, display as popover, hide empty pick list value. But if you're using filters, make sure to add fields as filters. So if you want to filter by department, for example, so you will have the department filters at the top. And finally, feel free to play with the style. So if you like to fine-tune the styling settings of the avatar group, like the header, like the size, the border, and some other styling hooks, you have a lot of settings to customize for the look and feel of the avatar group. So we'll just adjust my properties. Let's put back the list. I really love the list one. I will just remove the filter. Okay, so now it's done. Let's save the flow. Okay, we just saved the flow. Let's activate the flow. And now the last step, it's really to put the flow into the page. So for that, from the record page, we will edit the page, open the app builder, and from there, I'd like to add the flow component right there. So now you need to link the flow. So mine, it's demo video avatar group. Really, really important. Make sure to check this checkbox to make sure the record ID is passed to the variable. It's extremely important. Save. Let's do a test on the account page. Finally, I can see my avatar group list. And let's select or click on a contact. It goes directly to the corresponding contact page. Awesome, I love that. So just in minutes, I was able to build a screen component using the avatar group, Avonni Avatar Group, and Avonni Header to display a list of contacts in a more visual and appealing way. Let me know if you have any comments in the comment section below. Thank you so much.